Please note that in this recording, some of the questions may be inaudible, but the Master's answers are audible and clear.
Any question you'd like to ask?
I don't know the balance, the difference between when to beg and when to be satisfied with your grace. Sometimes I feel like I want to ask for more grace, to feel you more inside, and then I think I'm being selfish and that I should be just happy with what you've given me because you're giving me so much, and I don't know, I go back and forth, and I would really like to help.
Well, we have to do both. We have to be grateful all what He has given us, and there's no other door which we have to knock for His grace. We should not be ungrateful and forgetful what He gives us, and always go on knocking and begging. We have to do both. Yes?
Pastor, a lot of us now have a new tool that we've never had before, which is Dion. Could you tell us how we can best use that tool?
Pardon?
How can we best use our new tool of Dion now? How do we use Dion?
Well, brother, so much has been discussed and so much has been written that purpose of Simran is to withdraw the consciousness to the eye center. And the purpose of Dhyan is to hold our attention there. Because it's difficult to hold the attention in the vacuum, in the darkness. So we try to visualize something to hold our attention there. Dhyan is not must, but it is a great help for holding the attention till we see the light, till we see something within to hold our attention, to catch our attention. That is the real purpose of Dhyan. And Dhyan generally comes of those faces who are very familiar to us, whom we like, whom we love, and to whom we are attached. They automatically, you see, we start visualizing their faces when we think about them. It is the natural instinct of the mind that about whatsoever we are thinking, we are automatically visualizing about those events, about those faces. So Dhyan is to go simultaneously with Simran. And at the time of doing Dhyan, we should not try to associate the form with the outside activities of the Master. Just the face. Otherwise we'll be lost in the outside activities. Because mind always finds excuses to jump from one to another and to run out. So we should only try to visualize the face and not try to think much about the activities. And it is a constant struggle and regular practice. And even if you do not succeed in Dhyan, then we should think that we are doing Simran in the presence of our Master. That He is there, right within us, where we are trying to hold the attention. And we are sitting right in His presence, and we are doing Simran. That also helps you to be there, to still your mind at that point. That also helps you. It comes somewhere in the Bible, probably in the old Bible, that be still and become God. And that is most probably is referred to. That still your mind, and then you will become ultimately God. Yes?
Could you think on the benefit of darshan?
You see, If you try to calculate the benefit, then it has no benefit. Because lover never calculates when he looks at the beloved what he is going to get out of it. It is only the helplessness of the lover to look at the beloved. That is darshan. No lover calculates what I am going to get if I look at the face of my beloved. No lover calculates. He is just happy to be there. And perhaps he can't help to be there, being there. That is real darshan. But naturally it creates love, it strengthens love, it increases love, it helps to grow the love. That automatically advantage is there. But if you try to calculate what advantage you will get if you have darshan for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it leads you nowhere. In love, there is no calculation gains. Lover never thinks about any calculation gains. Yes.
How much should we share this love and happiness that we experience sometimes with other people in the outside world?
Well, brother, if you are happy within, you will automatically radiate happiness all around. You will spread happiness wherever you will go.
Some people, yes.
Christ said, blessed are those who are peacemakers, who have been able to obtain peace within themselves and who are spreading peace all around. If you go to a miserable person, he will make you miserable in 2 minutes. You go to a happy person, he will make you happy in 2 minutes. So you don't have to think how I have to share my happiness. It automatically comes out of you. It radiates from you in one form and another. You can't help expressing it, another person can't help being influenced by it. Yes.
Master, once we're on the path of Sant Mat, is it all right to still take an interest in other paths and see Sant Mat in them?
All right for what?
All right to take an interest to see paths like Buddhism and other types of meditation.
There are no restrictions in Sant Mat at all. But right at the time of initiation, we explained that you are allowed to go anywhere, mix with anyone, as long as you don't compromise with the principles of Sant Mat and you attend to your meditation. It's always explained at the time of initiation. There's absolutely no restriction at all. If something catches your attention, catches your interest, there are no restrictions. Definitely, you can go. But if you leave the principles and attend to your meditation, you don't feel like going anywhere. Nothing interests you anymore. But as far as Sant Mat is concerned, it has no restrictions at all. Nothing is taboo. Yes.
Kind of on the same line of outside things, I guess, and sharing what we have. There's a person that from my path that helped me along, and sometimes I think that I would like to send them to the path of the masters, and I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
Well, you have to see the receptibility of the person. Actually, one has to know how much another person can take it, how much he is responsive to your approach, or how much he is seeking, or what interests him. we have to little, you see, make our own judgment accordingly. And then we have to share accordingly.
So if, I mean, he has not asked me, I just feel that he would be very interested.
Then you have to make you have to make your judgment. Yes.
Maharaj, is it true that people are brought here to see you and also because they had karmic involvement in relationships from the past with one another? I've heard this, and I'm just wondering why.
Well, we don't meet anybody by chance. And there are hardly any coincidence in our life. All what is happening has already happened. You can analyze yourself. Yes?
Maharaj, I would like to know the difference between darshan and drishti.
Sister, drishti, people are confused with the Hindi word. Drishti means to look at something. Darshan means when you are looking at the master. Drishti means when master looks at you. It's just a way of explaining the word. There's absolutely no difference, you see.
Told that just by thinking bad thoughts, you are taking on more karma. I'm wondering, I find myself sometimes thinking bad thoughts, but at the same time, part of my mind is apologizing for doing it. Am I still taking on karma for thinking and apologizing at the same time?
Apologizing for what?
Apologizing to my mind for, or to master for my mind thinking what it's thinking at the time.
I think instead of analyzing all these things, it's better to devote time to meditation. That will also help you to eliminate such thoughts from the mind. If mind is absolutely concentrated in meditation, such thoughts should not come at all. In meditation, nothing should stand between you and the Lord. Nothing should exist. You not should be conscious of anything else in the world. You exist and he exists. That is meditation. If there is still something between us, then meditation is not complete. It's not one-pointed. Yes?
Master, is there a special grace for Satsangis that want to see you but have not had the opportunity to see you yet?
No, you see, some people cannot somehow manage it. It doesn't make any difference at all. They're as near and dear to us, those, just like those who are here. There's no difference at all. They cannot reach the master, but master can reach anywhere. Yes. About? Well, we'll take it Shabad Swamiji someday. Sharan means surrender. And surrender of what and to whom? Surrendering your ego, surrendering your mind to something higher than you, the Lord. We surrender ourselves to Him. We live in His will. We do not let our mind pull us to the senses. We have to pull our mind or our consciousness to the eye center. And with the help of Shabad and that light, we have to reach that level within where we control the mind. We can only surrender what belongs to us. We cannot surrender which doesn't belong to us at all. Now mind is dominating us. We don't dominate the mind at all. You see, soul, no doubt, is the essence of the Lord, but it is being dominated by the mind. So mind has become the master, soul has become the slave. And mind itself is not independent. Mind also has become the slave of the senses. So actually senses is the master of the mind and mind is the master of the soul. So unless the whole process is reversed, what can we surrender? First, mind has to be pulled out of the senses. Then mind has to be, you see, soul has to be pulled out of the mind. Then mind becomes pure. Then it becomes yours. Then soul is the master and mind is the slave. Now you can surrender the mind to the Lord. Because you can only surrender what belongs to you. You cannot surrender what doesn't belong to you. So now mind belongs to you. You have absolute full control over the mind. So now you are in a position to surrender to the Father. In other words, just knowing yourself, becoming whole, or getting release from the clutches of the mind. That is real surrender. And only we can do by meditation. It is not by intellect, not by austerities, and not by running away from the situations, not by strong willpower. It's only by meditation. Because mind refuses to leave the senses unless it gets something better player than the sensual players. And that better player the Lord has kept within every one of us. So unless mind gets into the taste of that, it refuses to withdraw from the senses. So whatever time we are devoting to the meditation, or we are tasting that nectar within, we are just, you see, training ourselves to surrender. All effort is being made to surrender. Whatever time we are giving to meditation, we are putting an effort to surrender. We are trying to surrender to the Father. And that is the only real surrender. This strong willpower and intellectual surrender doesn't lead us very long, too far. In one moment we think we have given our mind to the Master who will do what, another moment it starts revolting. That is no surrender. So only meditation helps us to surrender. When we merge back into that Shabad and Naam within, when we lose our own identity, when we lose our individuality and become the Shabad, that is real surrender.
What's the best way to do Simran?
Pardon?
What's the best way to do Simran?
Best way to do the Simran?
Mm.
By attending to it. I'll not follow your question.
How should it be done? Should we do it fast?
No. We should not be conscious about the pronunciation. We should not be conscious about the speed. We should not be conscious about our posture, what we are sitting. We should just be in the Simran and nowhere else. And we should not be conscious that whether my pronunciation is right or wrong, and whether my speed is fast or slow. No. You forget all these things. Just be in the Simran. Yes?
Raji, during meditation, when I'm trying to contemplate on your form, I sometimes see the form of other masters in my mind. Now, should I obliterate the pictures of these other masters in the mind? Or?
Well, you see, you can never be sure about those forms. One thing. And then sometime mind also starts finding excuses. And sometimes we do see and come in confrontation or meet the past masters, definitely, due to our past association with them. Our past attachments, association in one way or another, we do see them. But it's always safer to be with our own guide, living guide within. And along with them we may meet anybody. Then we are not deceived. Because about one person we are sure, other person we are not sure. So if you are with your own master, and even if you are interested in other past masters, it's always safer, you see, through your own master. Otherwise mind can play tricks, all form of tricks. And actually, as you know, all masters are same. They are all waves of the same ocean. There is no difference in them. Because since we have not seen them, and we see our own master, so unless we see our master, we cannot be sure. So he projects his form from the Shabad. Actually, it is the Shabad which is our master, which is the Naam, the divine melody which is our real guide within. But since we have seen our own master, so we cannot be sure about anything unless we see something like him. So he projects himself from that Shabad. So we should mainly be concerned with our own master. But other masters do come, and there is no harm in meeting them, provided they are accompanied by your own master.
Master, should we do Simran during darshan?
Well, if you feel like, if you are conscious of doing Simran, do it. If you are so much absorbed, you forget yourself, you can't help forgetting the Simran even. It depends upon you. Anyway, it suits you. Yes, please.
Yes. Master, I'd like to know the best way to handle anger. One way I suppress the anger and I say Simran. The other way I let it out and voice it, and then I say Simran.
In what way you feel better?
Letting it out and voicing it.
When you voice out, the other person is quite receptive to your voice and he voices out back. If he voices out back to you, then you again want to voice out back at him. Where it will lead to? If there is one fool under a roof, it is better not to have two. We should try to digest with it. Because anger doesn't solve any problem. You can be firm in explaining your things or your viewpoint and do it in a more diplomatic way rather than unnecessarily. You see, in anger we harm more ourselves than the other person. Because the other person is not affected by our anger. He rather think ill of us, what type of man he is. Neither he improves by it. So, but we damage our own self. But these are the general instincts of the body. It does express sometime here and there. But as far as possible, one should try to avoid them. Then it becomes habit of losing temper and becoming angry. If we start voicing out, we think by voicing out we can take it out. No, it builds more and more. It's always better to rise above it. Yes.
Rajiv, will you tell us or emphasize the reason for keeping still during meditation so that we can focus with our center or try to, and also tell us how important it might be
whilst we are attending the satsang of this evening, particularly in our own countries, because we do notice that it's very natural for people to sit and fidget and move around during satsang. And I'd like your opinion, or perhaps we'd all like your opinion, whether it's just discipline or whether it's also very important.
No, it's not so important. See, some people can't help changing the posture. They so in uncomfortable way of sitting. Some people can't sit like this in chair. They have so many problems. They have to changing one leg over the other, another leg over the other. It's okay. There's no harm in it, as long as it doesn't disturb the other person. As long as you can sit in a posture, you should. But you shouldn't try to, fight to keep the posture. Otherwise, your mind is absorbed in keeping the posture, not in Simran. You are fighting to keep the posture. You think posture is more important than Simran. But Simran should be more important. Sometimes unconsciously, you see now at time of sleep, you are not even conscious. You are taking turns. Sometime right, sometime left. But you are not even conscious. You are in dream state or deep sleep. But automatically you see you turn right, turn to the left. You are not even conscious. So similarly, when we are so much absorbed in Simran, just possible you may change posture right or left. You see one leg or the other, but you should not be conscious. You should be conscious only about Simran. But if we try to keep the posture, fight to keep it, then our attention drops. Just to keep the posture. We shouldn't try to be unnecessarily uncomfortable. As long as we can sit comfortably, it's okay. Otherwise, you can change it. Yes?
Master, how do we tell the difference between the real sound and echoes?
Well, sister, first you do hear echo. But with the help of Simran, and when your mind starts, you see, staying at the eye center, and your concentration becomes better and better, then automatically sound becomes clearer and clearer and more distinct and more audible. You hear a concert, music being played by different instruments from a distance, you will hear an echo. You cannot distinguish what instruments are being played. When you go nearer to them, you at once start distinguishing whether it's Vienna or a piano or star or what in other instruments there. So we have come to the nearer to the source to hear the sound, and that is here. The more we are coming nearer to the source, the more sound is becoming distinct and clearer and clearer. So first, naturally you hear echo. And even if sometimes we are hearing so many sounds, sometimes it happens, and we try to distinguish, try to pick up and choose, don't do it, we'll be lost. Just go on hearing it. Automatically others will fade out. And the real one will become more distinct and clearer and catch your attention. If we start picking up and choosing up, we'll be lost. So we shouldn't do it.
Master, is there a disadvantage to going back to sleep after you do your meditation?
The only disadvantage is that atmosphere which we have built by attending to meditation of bliss and peace and happiness, we just lose after sleep. There's some sort of a bliss and happiness you feel when you get from the meditation. And it's better to live in that as much as you can in order to tend to your daily activities without losing much of your balance the whole day. If you immediately go to sleep, you see you again forget. Not that you lose any advantage of meditation. You don't lose any advantage of meditation. But the atmosphere, naturally, you are drawn away from that atmosphere of bliss and peace which you have built by meditation. Yes?
Master, what's the best way to deal with an angry person? Maybe someone you work with, they tend just to get angry very easy. You don't feel angry back at them, but it's just an agitated environment.
Well, sister, they are all individual problems, and individually, accordingly, we have to deal with them. It's very difficult to analyze each and every little attitude of another person or our approach to it. Generally, we decide at the spot which is the best way to deal with. And then basically, we are all right. We are calm and quiet within ourselves, or peace within ourselves. We can take a lot of things, lot of nonsense also. And then we can find ways and means to express them in a more, rather not in a very aggressive way, in a more passive way. I mean, these are individual problems which we have to deal every day, at every step in life, rather, I would say. You see, since we are starting this session now, and as usual, I have a request that management will do its best to look after your comforts and needs while you are receiving. But try to treat this place as a monastery. Because your way of life in the West is different than in the colony, the way of life we are supposed to lead. So try to treat this place as just like a monastery. All right. Yes, please.
Do you know your desire is personal or impersonal? I mean, for example, when you see me, do you know everything about me, my troubles, my doubts, my pleasures, etc.? I'm asking this because I doubt or I don't know how to interpret the way people often say master arranged or master knows. Master knows. I mean, could you please?
You see, master is a medium between the soul and the Lord. And he is concerned with the soul to help it to develop, to reach to the level of the Father. And soul being in the body, and it has brought, and being slave of the mind, it is also ensnared in karmas. So it has to go through certain type of karmas. Why? Otherwise nobody stays in the body. That is known as destiny. Everybody takes birth along with the sins or karmas which we have committed in the past lives. And that karmas which we bring to get the body, and we have to go through while being in the body. That is our destiny. So ups and downs is with everyone, as long as one is in the body. One has to go. But if we attend to meditation, our willpower becomes very strong, that we easily don't lose the balance to go through ups and downs of our destiny. Whether master knows, whether master doesn't know, it makes absolutely no difference. Because master definitely helps the soul to develop spiritually, not from the material point of view. You see, our concept of grace and help is all material. Worldly ambitions, worldly achievements, worldly fulfillments. But that is not the purpose of the master. That is already destined. That we have to go through our destiny. Master is concerned in what way the soul spiritually develops. And he gives a source of strength to the soul to spiritually develop within. so that it is transported to the level of the Father and gets released from the mind and thus from birth and death. That is his duty. And our real master is Shabad, which is within every one of us. And there's nothing which is not, which is hidden from the Shabad. If he is the all creator, he is also all pervading, then he is also all knowing. You see, as Christ says in the St. John, nothing existed before the Word. Word has created the whole creation. So, and that Word which has created the whole creation is our own master. And that is within every one of us. So he is the creator, he is the all-knowing, he is the all-pervading. Nothing is hidden from him. In the flesh, because Master has realized that Word within, and we are connected through him, to that Word. So he is also all-knowing. But that doesn't mean that it interferes in our destiny. It gives us a source of strength to go through our destiny. Now the Lord knows everything, what is happening. But it doesn't interfere. Because our destiny is interconnected with so many events of life, so many events of other people's life also. Our destiny is not independent. If our destiny is just independent of everybody else, then it's a different thing. We can think Master should help or we are helped. But it is interconnected with other people. It's a karmic relationship with other people which have to go through. So changing of one person's destiny is changing of 1,000 million people's of destiny sometimes. And that is not the law of the nature, law of the Creator. So destiny one has to go through. And when we go through ups and downs of destiny, we think Master doesn't know anything at all. We are suffering and he doesn't bother about us. That attitude generally we develop. But we don't hold ourselves responsible. To what extent we are responsible for all this? At least in future, we should abstain from sowing such seeds, which may bring us to this state of affair. That we don't refrain. But what we go through, we always complain. So that is why all sorts of questions do arise in our mind. Yes? Pardon?
Why did it start?
But for ego, this creation cannot remain as it is. It cannot exist. If this creation is to exist, ego has to be there. Attachment has to be there to this creation. It is our attachment which brings us back to this creation. The moment we are not attached to it, we go back to the one who has created it. So ego is essential for this creation to continue. This is a divine design. If he wants this creation to continue, then it has to be imperfect. People has to suffer from ego. And those whom he wants to pull to his own level, that is also in his hand, not in our hand. He helps them to eliminate that ego. And those who want that they should remain part and parcel of this creation, they remain victim of this ego. Ego, mind is same thing. There's not much difference. Yes? Well, it's a good question, but then we have to go back to the Lord to ask. And then perhaps we won't ask him even. Why this creation at all? because you will be part and parcel of the Creator. And you don't exist anymore at all. Then only He exists at that level. You see, no mistake or a saint has tried to describe the purpose of this creation. No one has ever described. Even if they describe with our intellect, we will not be able to understand. We have to develop that intellect to understand. Every mother knows how she has given a birth to a child. When a child asks the mother how he is born, mother just puts him off with one excuse or another. I bought you from the market and somebody left you here, this and that. She wants the child to grow to know. And then then no child asks the mother how I am born. So we have to spiritually grow to know the purpose of this creation. Yes.
Explain how we can introduce the benefit of becoming more souls for initiation, and will all souls eventually be given the opportunity to initiate into the Godhead?
You see, this is entirely His discretion. Nobody can question Him. Nobody can say what pleases Him. Nobody can limit His power or His discretion or marking. There is no limitation on Him. There is limitation on us, but not on Him. As Christ said, He's King of Kings. He's all powerful. Means He can do anything. One who can do anything, how can we know? But normally our sincerity to seek Him helps us to get marked. In whatever way we are seeking. As long as we are sincere to know Him, to become Him, no matter what you do, it helps you in a great way to get His blessings. If not this birth, next birth, but definitely you are paving your way ahead. But sincerity is more important. But still, that is entirely in His hand.
To know the purpose of creation. Yes. But we have come, and we have indeed, we come to know in how many forms of this creation. And we have come with the destiny written on us.
Pardon?
Where's destiny imposed on us? How can we want it, or is there any way to be a little more encouraged in suffering the negative influences on us, and even the positive influence that create the cover that brings us here? Can we be encouraged a little more so that we more optimistic in that one day will become able to understand, to know why the world.
Well, brother, I follow your point. You see, beggar is to beg. Beggar is to knock. He cannot lay the condition that if you assure me that you are going to give me, then I am going to beg. He never knocks. You see, we are all beggars at His door. And we are all trying to knock for His grace and mercy. We have nothing. You see, He creates the pull from within. And that forces us to knock, to beg. That is also in His hand. He makes us, you see, He pulls us from within to knock, to beg. He is the one who makes us receptive to receive. And he is the giver.
Perhaps my question is on a subsidiary question. I am sure that there isn't any one of your subsidiaries that has not helped you up to now, many times, and that are many times he knows that he was helped by the Maharaj on the complete.
Well, Lord helps all his devotees, there's no doubt. That helps come from within. And he looks after his devotees, no doubt. But we have also to become devotee. Yes.
Maharaj, can you tell us what this morning satsang was about?
You see, no matter what instrument you play, same music comes. Every satsang has same theme. No matter from which saint you read, what way you try to explain, and which language you explain, you are harping on the same tune. Same teaching. It was Shabad from Sri Swamiji Maharaj. He was trying to explain us that everybody wants to go back to Father. Everybody is seeking him. The search is from within. Inclination of the soul is always toward its own origin. So under that instinct, everybody is seeking him. But people normally seek him outside, in rituals and ceremonies and dogmas. But the Lord resides within. And he said you can only find him within. Then he was trying to explain us the spiritual journey, which starts from the sole of our feet, ends at the top of our head. And it has two stages, eye center and upwards. In the body, seat of the soul and mind not together, here is the eye center. From here our mind is pulled downward and outward by the senses. By constantly thinking about the worldly faces and worldly objects, constantly contemplating on those forms, on those objects, we get attached to them. So much so that we start getting their dreams. We dream about them. And at the time of death, like cinema screen, they all come before us. And those attachments pull us down to their own level. So since mystic says you are already in the habit of thinking and of visualizing those objects and faces, so try to make use of this habit of the mind. But think about someone who will never perish, who is the creator, the Lord. So they tell us the technique and method, or they tell us how to do Simran on his name and how to contemplate on his form. And with that we have to withdraw our consciousness to the eye center. And then only we can be in touch with that divine melody within and be one that divine light within. Since mind is fond of pleasure, and when it gets a better pleasure than the sensual pleasure, it leaves the worldly pleasure. It gets absorbed in that sound, it gets absorbed in that light. With the help of that sound, we always know the direction of our house within. With the help of the light, we travel on that path. And stage by stage, slowly and slowly, we make our way towards our home. And then Swamiji was emphasizing, there is no other way for you to get rid of birth and death. Get rid of your karmas. And Swamiji, I was trying to explain, because karmas are connected with the mind. And soul is slave of the mind. And mind has become slave of the soul. See, mind has become slave of the senses due to the karmas, or due to being fond of the players of the world. So, unless the mind gets better player than the worldly player, mind refuses to leave the senses. And when mind gets a better player, it comes back to its own source, that is Tirkuti. Then soul gets released from the clutches of the mind. And all those karmas become ineffective. They cannot pull us back to the level of the creation. That is why mystics and saints so much emphasizes the necessity to attend to that Holy Ghost within. And Christ said, sin against the Holy Ghost can never be forgiven. You can be forgiven for anything. But if you won't attend to that sound within, that divine melody within, how can you be forgiven for all the karmas and sins you were committing in the past lives? This is the only way to seek His forgiveness. So that is why He said sin against the Holy Ghost can never be forgiven. So you must attend to the Holy Ghost under all circumstances. And then Swamiji was explaining that Lord is within, and this is a house in which we live. But our real house is also within this house. That you will not find outside also. Mean the Lord is also within this body. And you only from a mystic you will know, while being in this body, how to find your real house, how to find your real destination. Then he hinted about the 5 melodies within. And I was trying to explain, actually it is the one melody, that one sound. But since it is coming through 5 stages, so that is why many mystics have referred them as 5 melodies, 5 holy sounds. As river comes, river leaves its source, merges into the sea. But it has a different sound at different places. When it becomes a fall, when it passes through big boulders, when it spreads, and when it merges into the sea, every place it has a different sound. But all the same, the river is the same. So similarly, Shabad is one. That Naam is one, which coming through different stages. But they have tried to describe it more in detail and generally referred them as 5 melodies and 5 sounds. Then Swamiji was emphasizing that this human birth is given to you just for one purpose. That is to escape from birth and death. You have been getting sufficient to eat in every birth. You have been getting children in every birth. But what you couldn't achieve earlier, what you couldn't get before, it is the privilege to become one with the Father. Privilege to come to the level of the Father. So he says, make best use of this opportunity. Out of this prison of 84 lakhs, this is the only escape, only time that you can escape, and only door which you see through which you can walk out. There's no other way. And once you miss it, you may be enslaved in this maze again. And then he was little explaining this inner spiritual journey. Then he was saying that you should always be one pointed towards the Shabad. Don't let your mind waver. If you say, let me do this also, let me do this also, that man told me do this, I am doing all sorts of things, as I am not taking any risk, he says you will achieve nothing. You will have to be one pointed to that Shabad and Naam within, because rolling stone gathers no mass. So unless you are one pointed, you don't make much progress within at all. And then he was referring to the mind, that no doubt the Lord is within every one of us. But since our mind is dirty, and mind is enslaved with the sins and karmas, so the soul is helpless, cannot go back to the Father. I was given an example. If no matter how much water is in a tank, if the water is dirty and there are waves in the water, you will not be able to see your face. You cannot see your reflection in that. But if that dust settles down and there are no waves, the water is absolutely pure and still, you easily see your reflection in that water. So similarly, when your mind becomes still and pure, then we know ourselves. As Socrates said, know thyself. Then only we know ourselves. And then only we are in a position to know the Lord. So unless we know ourselves, we are not in a position to know the Father at all. So we have to tame our mind, still our mind, pure our mind, sublime our mind. As long as the mind is running toward the senses, it is our best enemy. When it comes back to the eye center and is attached to the Naam within, Shabad within, and starts making progress towards its own origin, you cannot have a better friend than that mind. So we have to win the friendship of the mind. And we have to see that it doesn't remain an enemy. We have to win our enemy and make our best friend. Guru Nanak gives a very beautiful example. He says, a philosopher's stones, when brought in touch with the iron, it makes that iron gold. He says, philosopher's stone is also within you. Iron is also within you. But one who brings the iron in touch with the philosopher's stone is the master. Mind is the iron, Shabad is the philosopher's stone. So when through the grace or help of the master, mind is brought in touch with the philosopher's stone, Shabad and Naam within, it becomes gold. It becomes pure. It becomes our best friend. Then Swamiji was trying to explain us the two things we should always remember in meditation. One thing, implicit faith in this technique and method, that what we are doing is the right path. Because unless we build that faith, we do not make much spiritual progress. If mind is wavering, we generally find excuses to get out of the path. And other things, don't put it off your meditation. You must attend to meditation every day. Don't go on planning that I am so young and I am yet to settle my children. I have yet to collect so much wealth when I retire. I have nothing else to do except meditation. These are all justification of our weaknesses. Who knows his planning? What he may, see what we may have to face. In a moment, people leave this body, heart fails. So he says, just go on attending to your meditation every day. Don't put it off with any excuse at all. Ultimately, this is only going to help you. Nothing else will follow you. Nothing else you will be able to take from this world. No matter how much you collect, how much famous man you become, how much all the worldly achievements may be to your credit, but you will leave everything here. Nothing will go with you. It is only the meditation, this treasure, as Christ said, the treasure we built in heaven, that is only going to be helpful to us. That is attending to meditation. And then in the end, Swamiji was explaining, this is not any new philosophy which I have brought. I have not brought any shortcut for you to go back to the Father. If you deeply go into the teaching of any mistake, any saint, of any country, any nationality, of any time, with unbiased mind, you will find the same teaching. There can be no difference in teaching at all. And as I explained, since the Lord is one, and we know it is within every one of us, and we also know that we can only seek Him or search Him or find Him within, then how can we ever think that in Christians He has kept a different path within? For a Muslim, He has laid a different path within. And for other communities, He has laid a different path within to travel. Path has got to be the same. There is no alternative. No matter who explains, where it is explained, when it is explained. Those who try to seek him within, there is no other escape, no other method for them. This is the only way to come to the eye center, be in touch with melody within, and be one with the divine light within. And only then you will get elevation. Then only you will get transported to the level of the Father. So this was the teaching of the, see, just in a nutshell, the whole teachings. Yes? Pain of what? Pain, no, pain of what type? Well, sister, as I said, good and bad karmas, destiny consists of good and bad karmas. And we have to go through all sorts of karma. If we have just good karmas, we would have been heaven. If we are just bad karmas, we would have been hell. It's a combination of good and bad that we get this human birth. And we have to go through the effect of good and bad karma. And we cannot change those good and bad karmas. We cannot change the course of events of our life. But we can adjust to those events of life. Happiness lies in adjusting to those events of life, as you cannot change them. You have to swim along with the waves. You cannot swim against the waves. You see, winter has to come, summer has to come. You can't change the course of weather. But if you adjust to winter, you have woolen clothes, your room is centrally heated, you have so many other facilities to warm yourself, the winter will pass. And then summer comes, you cannot change the course of summer, but then your body, you have to adjust your body according to the temperature, according to the summer. You can have air conditioning, cooling effect, and so many other things, light clothes and all that, cooling air. So summer will pass, and you don't suffer at all. But you can't change winter and summer of the weather. So similarly, we cannot change the ups and downs of our life. We cannot change the good effects and bad effects of our life. But we can adjust to them to escape that suffering. We can rise above the suffering. And that rising above is only with the help of meditation. I say, it's not a question of pinprick. You are not affected by those karmas. Your mental attitude becomes such that you accept it as the will of the Father. Now, for example, somebody's child dies. Naturally, everybody is attached to one's child. So, one person makes it a question of life and death at the death of that child. Other person with a strong willpower or with his grace, he accepts the situation. He faces the situation. He is not going to come back. I have to adjust to live my life. It takes a little lightly. In both cases, the child has died, it will not come. But now it depends upon your attitude, that how much you want to suffer for it, and how much you like to escape from the suffering. It depends upon your attitude. With the help of meditation, our attitude towards life changes. Attitude to the events of life changes. We start taking them as will of the Father. And we are not much affected by them. We don't lose our balance so easily. But we don't change our destiny. We don't change the events of our life, course of our life. Yes?
What's the penalty for a person who chooses a wrong guru when he chooses a wrong guru?
Pardon? What would be?
The penalty for a person spiritually if he will choose a wrong guru.
What do you mean by penalty? There is no penalty. It's just like not having any guru at all. You see, if you are lost in a forest and you get in and you find a wrong guide, so naturally you don't get out of the forest. You're just still moving in the forest. When you will get the right guide, he'll be able to help you to come out of the forest. And that is the penalty or punishment still remaining in that forest. As Christ said, blind leading the blind. Yes? Please.
In most of your talks, the meditation is the most important thing to do. Sometimes things seem to be against me meditating. I believe I try hard. Should we develop an attitude towards, even if our meditation is bad, should we have an attitude that there's no point feeling guilty or worrying about it, maybe that's our karma not to meditate?
No. You see, we should not worry about the results. As a matter of duty, we should attend to our meditation. As a matter of duty, we must attend to our meditation and not worry much about the progress or the result or the achievements we have been able to attain, but attend to meditation as a matter of duty. You must get into the habit of attending to meditation. And we cannot, there's no harm in feeling guilty about it, because unless we feel guilty about it, we will not be regular, we will not be punctual. And slowly we may even stop meditating. As Christ said, sin against the Holy Ghost cannot be forgiven. That's what he means. Yes?
Before we actually see your face, we're told when we meditate we're not to think about it or visualize it when we close our eyes. And now that I've seen your face and I meditate, I cannot bring it into my memory. And I don't understand that.
Sister, yesterday or day before, I think we discussed on Dhyan that even if you cannot visualize on the form of your master, you should feel that he is there. And being there in his presence too, separate. That helps you. See, meditation is a help. Dhyan is a help, not must. And when with concentration we start seeing that light, it automatically catches our attention there. Then we are not in a vacuum. Then that light catches our attention. And that becomes our dhyan. Because both faculty to be occupied, faculty to visualize, in the vacuum it becomes difficult to hold our attention. So when we see the light or any color, anything within, then our attention is there. It doesn't come down. That is the purpose of dhyan. Yes?
Master, would you explain to us the spiritual significance of the seva that we do here?
Well, brother, seva creates humility in us. And to a great extent, it helps us to eliminate our ego. And the more we are humble, the more our attention is towards meditation, the more better results we get within ourselves. It is the ego which stands in our way. And when we try to become one with the masses, then naturally, to a great extent, ego vanishes. Seva is just to please another person, not to boss over someone, other people. That is not seva. Seva is just for eliminating ego. Seva is for our own benefit, We're not trying to oblige anybody for doing it. We're doing it for ourselves. Our attitude is to help ourselves by doing seva, not to oblige somebody by doing seva. We do it for our own benefit. Meditation itself is a seva. And this is the highest form of seva, meditation. We are obliging our own self. We are helping our own self. Yes.
Virtue, without being aware of merely satsang cannot help become attached to your physical form. When we return home, we cannot bear being separated from you. How do you come to terms with this problem?
Well, you have just come. Why worry about this problem? You start worrying when you will be leaving. Why worry? Then you can ask such questions.
Even when we do our meditation, that it's not quite the same. It's very difficult.
You see, our real master is within every one of us. It's not the body. They often say it is the divine melody which is within every one of us. And we have to be with our own master within. An atmosphere in Dera is not of the brick and mortar. It is that of love and service. And that we have to carry with us. That we have to build within us. So we have to carry that Dera with us. Anyway, there's nothing to worry yet. Any other question? Yes, please.
Is it good to talk of our love for the Lord, or is it better to keep this feeling inside of ourselves?
Talk to whom?
I hear other satsangs, we talk and we say wonderful things about the Lord. Is it good to do it, or is it better to keep this feeling for ourselves?
Well, sister, when you are full with love, then you radiate love all around. Sometimes you can't help sharing with others your joy and bliss and happiness within. But as much as possible, we should try to digest it within. It helps to grow and helps also in the habit of digesting and keeping that treasure within ourselves. But sometimes when we are so full, we can't help expressing it. At least our eyes betray us, if not our tongue.